We're back. Hello. Hello, Wildflowers. I'm Judy.
I'm Carol.
And here's Johnny. Here's Peggy. Hi. Thanks for joining with us today.
This is actually number 40.
Wow. Oh, so this is the 40th
This is the 40th
Wow.
one, and that's why I bought a champagne for us this time. So we'll talk about that afterward, but do we have something to banter about?
We always have some.
Well, it's July 1st when we're filming this.
Yes,
it's right near 4th of July.
Happy birthday, America.
Yes, happy birthday. I wore my red, white, and blue. Well, no red, but blue.
Well,
and
I've got the red.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
But I have white pants on. So.
She does. I can vouch for her. I can vouch for her.
And you know, I used to, and probably you guys did too, before Trumpism, I used to fly a flag every American holiday, Memorial Day, 4th of July. And now I don't do it anymore.
Oh.
And because I feel like the flag has been hijacked by Trump. When I see somebody flying a flag at their home, I assume that they're a right-wing Trump supporter.
Yeah.
And
Really?
yeah, I do.
Well, if they're on their big-ass truck, I always think,
Well, I think certain ways of displaying it, I could see that, but I don't know, just like hanging the flag, I don't necessarily think that, but
I always think that's my first thing. Oh, they're probably a Trump supporter, and I'm not saying
don't
that.
let them take that from you.
Exactly, and that's why I'm really surprised that there hasn't been a movement to take the flag back.
Yeah.
You know, from that. And
well, remember when the politicians started wearing it on their lapel?
Do you remember when Sean Spicer had it upside down one time?
And they did
that was so funny.
I think it was with Bush and the whole thing, but after 9/11.
Yeah.
That's
at 9/11, a lot of people were wearing the flag. You know, everybody was very patriotic then, and the
And if
country
you didn't wear
unified. Well, the country unified at that time.
So neighborhoods and towns, especially across Long Island, they usually bring the flags out, you know, for Veterans Day, for along each pole, and I don't think
that's different. That's different. Like, you know, that's a community thing.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about people who have their flag out all the time at their homes. I automatically think of right-wing, MAGA people.
Wow.
And I really think that we should start a movement to take the flag back.
Well, as I was telling you, for several years now, even where I lived before I lived here, right this 4th of July, somebody went around putting flags in our yard, but with an advertisement saying they were given to us by, and I'm not even going to say the company, and that annoyed me. I'm like, I threw it out because I was like, no, you don't get to promote yourself using the American flag.
Yeah.
And that bothered me. And I think I'm the only one on the block that went out and pulled mine out of the yard. And I'm probably...
Probably everybody thinks now that you're just un-American.
Right,
Instead of like what the reasoning behind it was.
Exactly.
And I don't think that people should put anything on your lawn anyway without asking you first.
I totally agree.
Yeah, it annoys me. Yeah,
it's rude.
Yeah. Actually, I was while I was home, waiting to get ready to come here. I like to watch TCM all the time. I love all those movies. So guess what movie was on today?
Yankee Doodle Dandy. And I saw your post on Facebook
about the original Your Grand Old Flag. I just did it a couple of hours ago.
Okay.
So, then I got curious about George M. Cohan because that's what Yankee Doodle Dandy was about. It was biographical. And, he's known as like the king of Broadway. He really started Broadway.
Yeah.
And so I said, let me look him up. I knew some things about him. I knew that he wrote Over There, very patriotic songs. And one of the things I read was that the original title of You're a Grand Old Flag was You're a Grand Old Rag.
And she actually put the link to the song.
Way.
Yes, and that the original version of the song with him singing it.
Yeah.
He did not have a good voice. That's why he didn't like to sing a song.
But it definitely sounded old.
Yes, It was from 1906.
That's amazing.
And it's him singing it. And you're a grand old rag. You're a high flying flag. It was so crazy. I said, oh my God.
I never knew that till, and
Yeah.
so if people wanted to look that up, where would they find that?
I looked in, I don't remember what website it was.
But if you put in, I'm sure.
Oh, it was the Library of Congress.
Oh, okay. There we are.
That's so interesting.
Because they have the recording in the Library of Congress. And also, I sent you the link in an email so that you could post it,
Right.
if anybody wants to hear it. And I put
Okay.
it on Facebook too.
Yes, you did.
Nice.
So
So what are you guys doing for the 4th?
I'm not really doing anything.
yeah, no, I'm not doing much, only because my brother's coming later this week, so I'm excited
I
about that. So I'm
didn't
putting
know
my
that.
energy into that.
Oh, very
So yeah,
nice.
so that's
And what are you doing?
Well, we always have a huge barbecue, so you guys should stop by if you can. Oh, I always invite
Yeah,
you guys.
My
I always
biggest,
do.
you know why I don't usually come.
Because of the dogs. That's the
Yeah, I
it's
know.
the fireworks with the dogs. It's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
Now I have the 2 dogs, and one of them doesn't care at all. Pongo doesn't bother Pongo. Nothing bothers Pongo.
Yeah.
He's like a tank. But Ginny, it bothers her a lot. But
Yeah.
the one blessing with her getting older is that her hearing may not be that great.
Yeah.
So she could, I think, deal with the little ones. But
She probably feels the
yesterday
Yeah, I
we
was
had
just gonna
those
say, they
big
feel the
cherry
vibrations.
bombs. And she was
Oh.
right upstairs again.
And the
yesterday.
M80s.
Yeah,
they're
oh, is that what
terrible.
they're called?
Yeah.
So she doesn't like them. So that's always like a
Yeah,
downer.
this will be my
Yeah.
first year with Sherlock.
Oh.
So I don't know
Yeah.
what his reaction's going to be, but it's funny because remember how Lewis, I was telling you how he would get very shaky.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that in quite some time with
His
the
hearing might be going up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But
Because
yeah.
he's a rescue. You don't really know
No,
how
I
old
don't.
he is.
I don't. And Lacey
Yeah.
doesn't care. Lacey,
Lacey's
the
like
little
Pongo.
female, she's
Yeah.
empowered,
Yeah.
doesn't care. But yeah.
And just be mindful. Let's keep them to the 4th. I love them on the 4th, but in my neighborhood,
I don't
they've
even love
started
them.
already.
Yeah.
And I feel like all summer long they keep going, and it's so. It's enough.
Yeah,
It's
no,
we don't need them all
yeah,
summer
I've
long,
never been
please.
impressed by them. I'm
Yeah.
like, woo, woo.
I like fireworks. I don't like, I don't like the M80s and the cherry
Yeah,
bombs.
yeah.
But I love it at night. You look up and it's so beautiful. Like we could go down to the beach. I live right by the beach, and a lot of people they just go and sit there with their lawn chairs and bring some wine, and you can see
Those big M80s remind me of a phrase that my good friend Stephanie, hey Stephanie, she said she had a phrase that her dad used to say. He actually just passed, a lovely man he was. And it didn't deal with fireworks, but it reminds me of something similar. I remember Stephanie telling me that when people who smoked, her father would say that cigarettes are just props for insecure people.
I used to smoke. I'm
there you are.
not insecure.
But when I hear those M80s going off, the louder the fireworks,
Oh.
or those huge
Yeah.
cars with those engines that
Yeah.
rattle your windows, I'm always
Yeah.
like, those are
Yeah.
all props for insecure people. There's another one.
Pretty much.
There you go.
It could be like a penis envy thing
Right,
too.
right,
It's a
yeah.
Napoleon.
Napoleon complex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So should we move on to the beverage?
Yes, I'm thirsty.
Okay,
Oh,
so
so you want?
yes, indeed. So this is Alfred Gratien, and it is actual champagne
No
from
way.
from France. And
I don't know if I've ever had actual champagne.
Well,
no, that's not true.
If you get it from
That's not true. I
France,
just remembered.
then it is
Yeah.
real champagne because
No.
it's grown in the Champagne region.
but I
No,
was
I remember where I had it.
I was going to get the Veuve Clicquot, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try something different because that's what we're here for.
Where did you get this from?
Okay, I'm going to take this one because it looks like there's lipstick on it.
Oh, Caroline, gross. Let me examine my glass here.
I apologize.
Now your fingerprints on it.
Oh, well, at least no lips.
No lips.
Okay, I poured that wrong. Wait, hold on.
You're supposed to, I think, tilt the glass when you pour, right?
yeah.
There we go.
Yay.
All right, we're gonna put this back.
All right, so
in.
40
our 40th
episodes.
episode.
Maybe.
Thank you very much.
I'm still having fun. What about you, ladies?
And
Oh,
this
yes.
is Alfred Gratien.
Gretchen, yep.
To us.
And
Happy
yes,
4th.
Happy 4th, happy 40th.
Happy 40th.
And yes,
Yeah.
I still enjoy doing the podcast.
Yeah, so
So
how about
let's-
you? Yeah?
It's a lot of work.
All this drinking.
No, preparing for it. Oh, that's nice. Mm,
Ooh.
it's good. You don't like it?
No, it's really sour, isn't it?
I like it.
It's tart, and I like sour. But no, I
it's
didn't
a little,
expect that.
It's a little tart. It's
Wow.
I like it.
I mean, I love sour things. I just wasn't expecting that.
I like this very much.
I think I like the Veuve Clicquot better.
Ooh. It's very tart,
Yeah.
but I like it.
Well,
I really like it.
It's a hint of citrus. That's a big hint.
I think it's got a huge hint
Yeah.
of citrus.
White flowers and fresh butter. And it says that the finish is crisp.
The finish
Sure
is tart. How much
Yeah.
is this?
Well,
Okay.
$3.99.
no. It can go from $50 to $60. I got it for $50.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was much cheaper than the Veuve Clicquot. So, because I was like, oh, look at this one. It's a little cheaper.
Maybe I'm just used to. I'm probably just used to prosecco because I don't drink
Yeah.
like champagne. But that was tart.
Yeah, I
really
can't
tart.
say I love it. I can't say that.
I can say it.
I
love
like it. I love it too.
Yeah, I love it.
I like the tartness of it, but I choked on it.
Don't
No.
cry. Don't cry.
I was expecting like a prosecco and the tart. I mean, I love sour things too, but this is very tart for me, and I love it.
It's very flavorful.
Yes.
Like you really taste it all in the back of my tongue. I can still taste it.
It definitely stays with you. Like this, you can have a sip.
Yeah.
It doesn't disappear. It's still, but it's
Yeah.
good. It's a good taste.
Yeah.
How many wildflowers would you give it?
Oh,
For champagne?
I would say a 5 for this.
Yeah,
I like it.
I would do it too.
I like it.
I love it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
I bought it and I don't love it. It's
No,
I
I
would give it
more for
3.5.
us.
Yes, 3.5.
No, I love it.
I like it.
But you
too.
know, my problem is I'm not a huge Prosecco or champagne drinker.
Yeah,
I'm not-
either. I buy it a lot
Yeah.
because my kids
Yeah.
drink it, and I try all different kinds.
Right.
So,
Here's
but
a
this one I
question.
never even saw. I'm gonna look for
With
it.
our 40th, we've done a lot of topics in book. Is there something we haven't done yet that you thought we would have done?
For topics?
Yeah, by the time we got this far.
There were,
almost
we made
year.
a list of things that we were going to do.
Yeah, I know. I still have that list.
I do
think.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
have
did
that.
take some of them off. It was on my phone.
Gardening.
Should we draw from the basket in honor of today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you? Well, Peggy drew the last time, so do you want? But
No,
you
you do
never.
it.
No.
Oh, all right.
You have to.
I
answer.
raise this, I guess
She
I
has
have to
answer.
Mix them up.
Right? She has to answer. Right?
Well, we could all answer it.
Okay.
Oh,
Whoops.
sorry.
She has to answer first.
All right.
Okay. See, this is the basket.
This is the basket.
A tisket, a tasket.
Oh, what do you consider to be your best personality trait? Oh,
Oh,
that
my
can be tough.
goodness.
You're too funny. Oh
My goodness
My
is.
goodness.
That's my answer.
Goodness. Oh, I think my best personality trait, and it could also be my worst.
Oh, I like
is-
that.
Is I'm blunt in what I.
Yeah.
If I, you'll pretty much know what I'm thinking. If I don't write about what I say, you'll know. I'll tell you what I say, what I feel, what I don't feel. I'm not going to really care
Yeah.
if you
Oh,
like
that's
it or
good
don't.
that you
But at
don't
the same
care.
time, it's causing me some problems. I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's a good way to be. I
don't
think
know.
it's a good way to be. I wouldn't say that you're blunt.
No.
I think that you're honest with your opinions.
That's it.
I mean,
That's a
blunt
nice way of
sounds
putting
almost
it.
rude, and you're not rude.
I
but
can
you're
be
honest
rude,
with
though.
your opinions.
But I can be rude sometimes when I'm not careful. If I
Yeah,
in some ways,
yeah.
and so that's why I think maybe it's blunt.
I got to share this because I was so upset with myself talking about being rude. This happened to me yesterday. Now, I went to the 7-Eleven, and often when you go to this particular 7-Eleven, there's somebody outside wanting money, or, And I was in a rush yesterday, and I was just like, I go and I hear, excuse me, and I'm like, no, not even looking. And like, ma'am, and they were talking very weird. got to my car, I sat in, all of a sudden I turned, and they're at the door in a wheelchair, and they had like cerebral palsy. Well, did I not feel like a piece of shit?
Yeah.
And I hurried up and opened up my door, but then 2 guys were coming. They go, we got it. I said, but I'm sorry. I felt like I was the worst person in the world.
What, he wanted money or
No,
help?
he wanted to open, I'm sorry, he wanted the door to be open.
Oh, man, you piece of shit.
No, Peggy, be nice to me. I'm already hard enough on myself.
This reminds me of
know.
some. I know we're getting kind of, but I saw a story yesterday. Did you hear about the man David Brower? Actually, one thing I did write his name down. Breaux.
I don't think so.
It was a story on CBS. They had interviewed him a few years ago. He lives out in California, and he, was homeless. But he wasn't always homeless. He was willingly homeless after getting inspired from a TED Talk. And he would stop people, kind of like the, hello.
Right.
And he would ask one question of everybody. What's your definition of compassion?
Oh, wow.
And he started leaving notebooks everywhere just to get people to start thinking about compassion.
Right.
And they ended up getting published, whatever, but he was home. This is what he did. He lived in the Davis, so there's UC Davis in that area in California, very young. And they dedicated a bench in his honor after being there 4 years, but people just loved him. And he was about, and then he's 50 this year, and he was killed. Somebody stabbed him along with in a series of stabbings in UC Davis.
Was that? Yes, I remember when that was happening.
One of the first victims.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the story. He was just fascinated. He thought compassion would save humanity.
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh! Wow.
Right, and just we have to stop.
Well, compassion
and
would
look.
if humanity
but
would
just
cooperate.
like keep looking at each other, and just not always assuming, right,
Yeah.
that it's that people have words. And this was a good, not to shame you, it wasn't meant to shame you. It was just, it reminded me of an example. It's like if we just assume something, we don't know.
Right. Absolutely.
And,
well,
it was
because
very
in the
interesting.
past I have purchased, like somebody was like, do you have money for a cup of coffee? I said, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. What? How do you like it? And I've gone in and bought them coffee. So I've done that. I didn't just give them money.
Right.
And that kind of thing. But this time I was just like, they're always at,
Yeah.
I just felt terrible.
But it was a good lesson to remember compassion and not be always assuming.
So my best trait is compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
what's your
Oh, I thought that we were finished with that.
So the question is, what do you consider to be your best personality trait?
Oh, I think that I could find a connection with just about anybody.
I believe that. Absolutely.
I think I can. I can.
Really?
Yeah, I think I can.
Should we test her? I know what you're going to say.
I know what you're going to say, too. Well, I couldn't with Donald Trump.
There you go.
Well, he's a very bad person.
Right,
But I mean, in my everyday life. I mean, I meet people, especially at the food pantry, that people I do not know at all.
Right.
They come in, a lot of them don't even speak English, but I always make a connection with them.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm taking Spanish lessons now, so I could be better at my job. It's not really a job, but what I do.
We're all friends.
Yeah.
I know you made a connection with me when we first when we met.
That's true.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you are better at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is that's a good thing to have.
True.
Yeah. And what did you say you were going to move on?
Because was compassion.
No, it wasn't.
No. I was sitting there trying to think what it was, but I tend to give people the what's the phrase?
Benefit of the doubt.
Thank you. I tend to, and I think you even said, okay, we do that because I try to look at like, okay, they're, it's easy to judge somebody, but I always say we didn't walk in their shoes. We don't know their history. And I say that a lot.
That is true. You do that.
Yeah.
I do that, and I try to like cut people slack. And I've even had my niece. We were having a family get together, and we were sharing. I gave them a challenge, and so we were all sharing. My question to them was, "What defines you now as an adult that happened to you as a child or when you were younger?" And so I explained one of mine, and she goes, "That's why you're the way you are." because I don't like to judge people because you don't know their history.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good question. We should put that one in the
Yeah.
in the bucket,
Back in the we've already
in the
done it.
basket.
Well,
Yeah.
we've already done it, so no, it's done.
No, the one that you just mentioned.
Oh, that one.
defines
It
you?
might be.
Oh, it might be in there.
It might
That's
be.
a good question.
It might be because I did a lot of them. But anyway, did you want more champagne?
Yes, I
did. Before we get,
As you can
did you want me
see.
to add more to yours as well?
Well, if you insist.
Turn it on an angle, please.
Yes, ma'am.
This is
That's
what-
a
and
very
it's-
heavy bottle.
Yes,
It becomes less tart as you drink more of that. It was just the first couple
All
of
right, so you're still giving.
Yeah, the first sip was a big
It was
surprise.
right? I
But
can't,
I
as you
liked
can
it
see
from
from my
the
face,
first
I
step.
can't hide my
I
emotions. My feelings.
Would like this?
Yes, they would, but I am not paying $50 for a bottle of one that Samantha can suck this down in an hour.
You heard that, Samantha.
My husband used to say to me, like, like if we were having a discussion about something, he would, like criticize me. I said, I didn't say anything. And he used to say, Peggy Malone, your face says it all.
Yeah, my kids tell me that about my face.
Mine too.
Like, I can't
Yeah.
hide it.
All right,
So I guess-
here's to not hiding what you think. Unless you're gonna hurt
And to
somebody's feelings.
compassion.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
compassion.
Compassion, that's the compassion
And I'm
end
a
of
David
it.
bro. I was really
That's right.
inspired by
And
him.
to connecting too.
Oh,
And to champagne from
and to
Brad.
shut up.
I'm trying to keep you guys from getting drunk.
Oh, is that it? Well, France has got a lot of issues
Oh, it's
right
so
now,
good.
but-
Oh my God. We are
gonna
not
just-
canceling.
Okay.
No.
No, because by September, I look at it this way. In September, if there's some kind of uprising,
Yeah.
it's going to be a very interesting 3 nights in Paris.
Bring your camera. You would love to photo.
Oh, she'll be bringing
Because
it.
I
Yeah, believe
remember
me.
I was
Oh,
in
I'll
London,
have
I was in
my
London when Boris Johnson won.
Oh,
And
okay.
I got some nice
Yeah.
pictures from that. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
the protests,
Yeah.
the demonstrations were amazing for that. So yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah.
it's a cool.
Oh
place
no,
to
definitely. That's what I figured. This way, we could find a way to be safe, and chances are nothing is going to be happening. This will be
Chances are.
over, but this whole police thing will be over
Yeah.
by the time September
Or-
rolls around.
It'll have
And
escalated.
no, worst case scenario, we just don't go, and we will lose our money for the apartment. We might get
Just
some of
go.
it back.
Right.
Just go.
But that's my tendency is let's just go.
Did you notice how she made the decision for the two?
No. If you're very uncomfortable,
No, I'm not.
we will cancel and take the train.
Woman,
and,
hear me roar.
That's what wine is for. You'll be comfy.
Oh, that rhymes.
Yeah.
I am woman, hear me roar. That is wine is
That's what wine is for. I
It
think we
makes
have
me
a new
roar.
song.
Yeah, Helen Reddy.
Oh, Helen.
She died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we're going off the rails.
I know.
It's
Oh my
book
God.
time.
Well, I'm going to make
Okay.
this really fast. So
Okay.
my last read was A Deadly Education, which is the first book of a trilogy by Naomi Novik. It is fantasy. It's about magic. It's about
Oh.
a magic school for witches and warlocks.
Oh, that's kind of fun, even though it's not the
Yes.
kind of book that I would
Yeah.
read, but that's so
This
fun.
is. I looked forward to reading this book for such a long time. I bought it months ago, and for the last, I think it came out in 2020. And people, that read fantasy, oh no, you gotta read it, you gotta read it. And it was okay.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
It was okay.
Even though I can't see.
Now, do you read reviews before you start a book? Because I
No.
don't. I do it after.
No, I
finish a
didn't.
book.
I
Okay.
didn't. And the reviews are from mostly like really avid fans of fantasy, and I do love fantasy.
Yeah, I like fantasy
but,
too.
I mean, people love this book. Excuse me, this is giving me the burps.
Well, real quick, sometimes if I'm reading a book and I really hate it, I'm like, I gotta read the reviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I do it, I'm like, oh, okay. Sometimes they agree with me, and sometimes I'm like, really?
Well, sometimes that can make you also hang in there. Everybody says, oh, hang
Right,
in there,
that's
or,
true.
this happens or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate the book. I really didn't hate it. It's, the main character is very, very interesting. Her name is Galadriel. There's two main characters, Galadriel and Orion Lake. And The problem I had with this book is that I didn't get enough background as to what is happening outside this school. This school is kind of like built in like some kind of void, and there are no instructors in the school.
And what is it taking place? What years?
They say pretty current, you know,
okay.
but kind of like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter,
You know, yeah.
that's what it's reminding me.
But this school is infested with monsters. They're called malefices, and they actually like eat the students. And it's and there's no instructors in the school. It's kind of like
like Charlie
the
Brown,
building
there's no
itself. Yeah. It controls everything. It's a very weird story, and I'm not going to go on and on about it. There are 2 other books after it. From what I've heard with people that I know who've read all of them, they said, the next 2 aren't as good as the first, and I didn't love this.
Okay.
So, but I do kind of want to know, next year they graduate. It's graduation that's dangerous, very dangerous in this school, because you have to get out of this void building,
that's
and all the
interesting.
monsters wait because they want to eat all the graduates.
Oh my God!
Because they get energy from that.
that's good.
It's a very weird
But
story.
it's a very interesting premise.
Yes, it is.
I always wonder where the parents are in this situation.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
knowing that that's
Well,
what's
I
happening.
know-
Like,
well,
why would you
they
send
were
your kid to that school?
That's you know about her mother. You learn about her mother,
Okay.
and she's kind of like it's like a hippie character. And her father got killed from saving the mother. He saved the mother when they were graduating.
Okay.
He saved her from a monster, and he got eaten instead. And she's like a dark witch. Like she has a power that she could like destroy the world, but she doesn't want to use that power like that. So she controls it, and she doesn't. The witches in this book take their power. They could take it from another living thing. Like you could suck all the power, like if I were one of those.
And that would kill the other person?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And but she doesn't. Like she will do knitting that will also. It's called mana, and it creates energy for her to build her magic. And it's an interesting book. I'm sorry, this is such a crappy review. It doesn't really give you an idea.
We all read books that
It's
are
just a weird
just so
story
strong.
because in Harry Potter, at least you knew why they were there, and
Yes.
you knew that the rest of the
Yes.
world, like the Muggle world,
Yeah.
Right.
they were like kind of oblivious to
Yes.
what was going on in that world.
Mm.
I don't think that's the case in this story, but it's never really explained. And maybe it'll be explained in the next book.
Right.
But I don't think I'm too old to invest that kind of time.
So how many wildflowers would you
I would give it 2 3/4.
And what's the name of the
wow.
author?
Naomi Novik.
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 I haven't heard of that book. But,
Okay,
I might give it a
okay,
shot one of these days.
Yeah.
Just to
No,
see,
it's,
yeah.
I'm currently reading Margaret Atwood's latest
Oh, okay.
book, and it's
All right.
very good.
Well, I just
enjoying
finished a
it.
book today, so but I'll do it next.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
a
okay.
couple of weeks
Awesome.
from now.
And my
we'll do it.
turn will be the next.
Right. So
So
the one
that'll be
after that, I'll
Yeah.
review that one.
Okay.
So that's very
So
cool.
on to the
I
subject.
have to just interrupt real quick. You know, I
course.
said when you first got here, I was like, I just can't wake up today. I'm feeling so tired. And the 2 of you here have energized me, and I'm serious.
Yes,
I feel energized again
Oh.
doing a podcast.
I missed
You
our
are
podcast.
sucking our energy. Did you read this book?
Where are the monsters? Are we gonna get out alive?
I'm a grapist, and now I'm sucking the energy out. That's so funny.
Well, you know, like the air quality is terrible today
It
too.
is.
They tell you don't do any outdoor
yeah.
activity.
So that's why we're
Gotcha.
staying in and drinking.
Yeah,
We have to do what we have to do.
Gotta
I
do
know.
what we have to
I
do.
know, really.
Now you're the one doing the topic.
I am, and unlike me, I'm not prepared. I
Unlike
brought
me.
a notebook. Unlike me, I'm not prepared. Okay, this book is just for show. I wrote nothing in there.
Are you doing the topic that you told us you were going
Yes, I am. That's
I
what I
don't
want to do.
remember what it was.
My topic is very lighthearted today, so maybe it won't be as long since we kind of went over.
Or it might be
Yeah,
really
we
long.
did.
Is what are we watching?
Oh.
You know,
and what are we reading too, or
No.
just watching?
We already talked about what we.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
before phones, a lot of people, the typical when you define screen time would be TV. Now, I think when people think of screen time, they're not talking about TV.
Yeah, streaming.
They're talking about streaming or on your phone, swiping this.
Right.
So
Podcasts, are you watching Wildflowers
hopefully,
podcast?
we could be on a TV technically if you put it onto your TV.
Yeah, I've watched it on my TV.
That's how I watch
Carol
it.
does,
If you
yeah.
haven't done
I
it,
keep-
try
yeah.
us. We look even better on the big screen. So,
I'm watching 2 really good shows, but
tell me. No.
well,
Tell me,
one of
what are
them
you
just
watching?
ended.
And tell us not only what you're watching, but where, like how you watch it, because that's a question I want to explore.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm watching it on my TV. It's on Apple TV.
Okay, Apple TV.
And the show is called Silo. It is such a good show. And I hesitated. I kept on going past this. I don't know. But I do love post-apocalyptic fiction
right, yeah.
and movies
You do,
and shows. And this is post-apocalyptic, but like you don't know what happens. There's 10,000 people, and they live in an underground silo for the past 140 years. They've just, people do die, but they have children, and they do their own farming, and they have this big gigantic generator that they keep going, and I don't want to give too much away. I'm afraid of giving something away. The first season just ended, and some people start getting suspicious about what it's really like outside. They have all these windows, like screens, that are showing what the outside is like, and it's very a post-apocalyptic view. Like if everything's dead and dry, and some people are thinking, how do we know that this is true?
Right.
And there's a lot of secrets being kept from the people who live there. It is such a great show. I really, really love it. And I talked my sister into watching it with her daughter, and they're loving it too. My brother-in-law now is watching it.
Look at you, the
And
marketer.
it's such a great show, and I highly, highly recommend it.
Is it good for kids?
Yes, you know what? It is good for kids.
Like, the age of my kids.
Yes,
14.
yes, because I thought the same thing, and I said,
Right.
I want couldn't Riley and Tate watch this? Yes, they could watch it. There's not like sex in it, and there's
Okay.
a lot of cursing or anything. There's not a lot of like violence in it.
Right.
There's some violence, but it's not major. It's kind of mild.
All right, so Silo. Okay, that's
Silo,
what- I'm
and
gonna
the
write
other
this down.
one
I'm
I'm
stealing
watching
this.
is called The Crowded Room.
Where did
and-
you watch that?
That is also on Apple TV.
Oh, at 2 for Apple TV.
2 for Apple TV, The Crowded Room. Tom Holland is the main star of it. I never heard of him.
I have.
Yeah, but he's a relatively young person.
The Crowded what?
The Crowded Room.
Okay.
And I just found out last night because in the credits, I always watch the credits of things because I'm crazy.
No, you're
And
not.
and a couple of nights ago, I noticed. I said, "Oh, Daniel Keyes." I said, "Who the heck is Daniel Keyes? I know that
He's an actor,
name." And because they said it's based on a book by Daniel Keyes. And I said, I know I read one of his books, so this morning I looked it up. He wrote Flowers for Algernon.
Oh, I read that book.
That was such a great
I read
book.
that book. I read that
And the movie
book,
was
yeah.
called Charlie.
Oh,
with,
yes.
That's
Oh, wow.
That's
so
what I just
interesting.
thought of.
What's his name? The guy who was in Charlie. He's
Charlie?
The actor?
handsome. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, God.
But I just thought
That was
of a
a long time.
personality
Cliff
trait.
Robinson.
Oh,
I would not.
a personality trait of yours is curiosity. You're always curious.
Oh, I'm always
That
looking up
is.
stuff. It's
That is.
ridiculous.
You know, as you said that, I'm like, she
She is.
is
You
so
are. That's a good
curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
But
maybe is why she can connect with everybody.
Yes.
Because you're.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was
it's
like,
good to link it
she's-
together.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So anyway, I said, oh, that's why I really like this show so much, because it also is like a psychological thing. And it's about this young man who gets involved with these people, and a murder is committed, and
wow.
a shooting in Rockefeller Center.
And this is like modern times?
Yes.
Okay.
Amanda Seafields.
Seafried. Yeah.
is a star in it, and she is such a great
She's really
actress.
good.
She's
She's very
awesome.
talented.
Yeah,
And
she was
Tom
in,
Holland.
yeah, she was in the one about the Mormons.
Oh, the one about the
Not big. What was it?
women talking.
Women talk.
No.
Oh, wasn't she in Women?
She might have been, but she was also in a TV series.
Oh, The Big Love.
Yes,
Yeah,
Big Love.
yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
I've seen
That
it.
But anyway, it is an excellent show.
Okay.
It's just one season so far, and I think there's only one more
I'm going to
episode
circle
left.
back to you, but
Yeah.
because I have a follow-up question. But
Okay.
I want to hear what you're watching.
Oh
I'm gonna
gosh,
write it
well,
down.
I have several things I want, because I knew you were going to be doing this. What I watched and what I have, what I'm watching and what I did watch. I wanted to talk about this one called Transatlantic on Netflix, and because it's based on a true story of a woman named Mary Jane Gold, and I had to look her up. And it takes place right during the World War II.
And this is a mini series, like a series. Okay.
A series. And I thought, oh gosh, I'm gonna be like, I have such a hard time watching anything with the Holocaust or that kind of thing, but it doesn't have that. It's implied and you know that it's happening. But she was this woman, a very powerful woman, but young, very well off, and her father lived in, I think, Chicago, and he wanted her to come back to Chicago because she was in France. And she knew that she could help the people escape to get out of, let me put my glasses on because I want to make sure. She was an American heiress who played an important role helping European Jews and intellectuals escape from Nazi-occupied France in 1940-41 during World War II.
So it's based on a real person.
Yes, based
Okay.
on, and other characters that are in it with her, they're based on them too. And she was, and Doubleday actually published, what's the title of the book? Crossroads, Marseille, in 1940. But she recalled her arrival, and she has a dog in the movie too, and I was like, I was so scared for the dog in a certain scene, so that ropes me right in. But the story of how her father demanded that she come home because, and then he cut her off what he was sending her, the money that he was sending her. So she had to be creative in how to get these people out financially and where, because then they were occupied, France was occupied, and she had to,
Yeah. The trailer of that show, because I did watch it, the trailer of it, that's her sitting like in this outdoor cafe with this man
Right.
and saying, my father cut me off.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's one of them that I absolutely loved. In bits and pieces, because it's too emotionally taxing for me, I'm watching Ozark because my kids are forcing me to.
Yeah.
That's on Netflix, and it's only because I really love Jason Bateman. I know your feelings on him, but it's so violent that I think there's so much violence
Very
in the
violent.
world.
I couldn't watch it.
I watched it, like last night I watched an episode, but I could only do one episode. I just only could do one. But speaking of Jason Bateman, he and
She
Sean,
always speaks of Jason.
I do, Sean Hayes and Will Arnett do the podcast Smartless. And I'm just addicted to this podcast. It's so good. It's so entertaining. And they have a documentary of their touring with their podcast on HBO that's hysterical. It's very entertaining. But one thing I found very interesting was this, is that Sean Hayes says, like when people do, he goes, oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. And I went, that's his pet phrase, which I've told you, I have a pet phrase that makes me crazy. It's called absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
You
like,
say-
absolutely. And I'm like, I'm not the only one. So, yeah. And so, some others that I'll say real quick, I won't waste up
No,
a lot of
that's
time.
okay.
We love Call the Midwife, even though that's
yeah.
not on the season anymore. But that is just, you learn so much about history from that.
Where do you watch it?
PBS. That's on PBS. And then Succession just finished, and that was fascinating because I looked at it that we're watching the whole Murdoch family, even though it's not the Murdochs. But that just ended.
Yeah,
Where
they're
is that
pretty
on? Is that
terrible
on
people.
Netflix?
That is, no, the Succession was on HBO.
HBO.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a documentary that I watched. I think you two would like it. You get Netflix?
Yes.
You get Netflix?
No,
Oh,
I was one of the people that Netflix bumped off
Oh, okay.
for sharing passwords.
Okay, all right. So it's called This Changes Everything. And it's about Gina Davis. She's the co-founder and chair on the Institute on Gender and Media. And it's only like an hour and a half documentary, but it's really interesting
Yeah.
how, the women they weren't respected, they still aren't, and it's very interesting. And this last one that I just finished watching from this season is called Somebody Somewhere with Bridget Everett and Jeff Hiller. I know I told you about it.
I watched the first season of it. I didn't even know that there was
Where
a
is that,
second
Netflix?
season.
That is
I don't remember. I watched it a couple of
Max,
years ago.
on HBO Max.
Yeah, I can't get on that anymore.
Oh,
either.
no.
I have to get in touch with my son-in-law, Aaron.
Yeah, so what I felt like is that I'm watching real people just in their lives and their struggles, and I just absolutely loved it. And I was like, oh, I always get really sad when it's the last episode.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do
Me
too.
too. You wanted to
No,
just stretch.
Yeah.
Like whereas Ozark, I'm like, come on, be the end, get to the
Yeah.
end. It's so depressing.
Yeah.
It's too.
If you ever want to watch something that's just lighthearted and fun and like a nice crazy family, watch Bob's Burgers. Your kids would love it.
And what's that on?
That's on regular
Like
network
TBS?
TV,
Yeah.
but you could also see it. There's many seasons
Oh,
of it. It's
okay.
been on for years on Hulu, and it is this family that owns this burger joint.
But it's
I don't-
animated, right?
Yeah, it's all animated. It is such a funny show. They are a funny family, and
I
I
just
think
have such a problem connecting to animation.
So do I.
you know
I do.
what.
I really do. I can't get
Same.
into animated
You would
series.
like those. You would love this family.
You might be right. Not that I wouldn't. I just usually I'm like, ugh,
Yeah, no, I have to
can't
skim
get
past
into
it. It's
it. Yeah.
animated.
You should let your kids watch
Yeah,
it,
I
and they're
will.
gonna love it. It's a very good show.
They might love it. She doesn't.
No,
know for
I think
sure.
that they will love it. I really,
So-
I love watching it when I say, what am I gonna watch? I'm gonna watch some Bob's Burgers, and I laugh. They're such a quirky family.
Well, I was writing down not only what you were watching, but where you were watching was part of my question here because your two top shows you listed were Apple TV.
Uh-huh.
Most of your shows are on Netflix or HBO Max. There was only one network, which was
Right.
PBS.
Right.
And that kind of made me realize is that this shift now. A lot of people are either have completely gotten rid of their network
Right.
TV.
Yeah.
Right.
And then have now gotten these streaming. I feel like I'm a dinosaur. A lot of
Yeah.
it too. So it took me forever to stop playing CDs, although I still carry them in my
Oh, I
car.
have
I still
tons.
play CDs.
Or
Yeah.
to get the smartphone. Which doesn't work right. I still have to replace it, but I'm like, it still turns on. It'll be okay. But I still have network TV. I still have a landline.
I had a network
I
TV.
still have. I have a landline. You
No,
probably
that I
just
got
don't
rid
know.
of
I
because
still have
nobody
that.
ever called me
Well,
on
I
it
have
except
a
for
landline.
telemarketers
I have
for the
a-
business.
Yeah, for
No,
all
I
network
use it,
events.
and I have we still I think predominantly watch network TV.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot. I have Netflix. I have Netflix. I have Amazon Prime. I have Hulu,
I think I
Apple
have all those
TV,
too. Yeah.
and I have Disney Plus.
I have
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
But I don't have the other ones, and so I don't have HBO. And I don't have HBO. I don't have Stars. I don't have. I just get the basic landline,
Right.
Yeah.
kind of stuff from Verizon.
Yeah.
I find it's becoming too expensive now. Like just
It's
to be
very
all of this.
expensive.
Yeah.
But one of the shows that I just love, and I love, and you got me onto it, is Outlander.
Oh, okay.
Love Outlander.
And what's that on? What?
Oh, it's on Stars, I think. And I
No, because I didn't have
no.
Stars, so
What
it
is
couldn't
it
have
on?
been.
It's on one of those streaming. It's like not HBO. It's
It can't be Paramount. I don't have
No, it's
that.
not Paramount.
Stars.
It's one of those channel premium that I could get through my Verizon for my. I could get it if I buy
Right.
it, but I don't want to buy it.
Right.
But I do love the show, and it's been a couple of years since it's been on, but it's on right now. It started in June.
Oh, okay.
I think it used to be on Netflix because
It is, but it will be
Oh.
on Netflix again. But I have to now wait. I'll probably have to wait a year for it to show up on Netflix. That's
Oh,
how I found
see.
out.
I watched it after the fact.
No, I watched Outlander on Netflix.
Yeah.
When you told me
Yes,
that, I
yeah.
got hooked.
Yeah.
Love Netflix. But it's on now again. I think it stars.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Oh, okay. That you
And-
have to pay for. Yeah.
And you have to pay. And I'm like, oh, I don't
It's like
want
Paramount Plus too.
Yeah.
There's a Star Trek show on it that I want to watch. I said,
I'll
I'm
wait.
not paying for it.
But it's killing me. So my neighbor across the street, they watch it. I was talking with her, and I said,
So
just
she
don't
gets her
tell me.
binoculars.
Yeah, no, I'm like, just don't tell me what happens. I want to watch it next year. But it gets like that's.
Yeah.
It's kind of, so that's kind of what I
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that
it's
show.
funny because do you remember when HBO first started?
Oh,
We're
I need
talking
more.
years ago. She needs more champagne.
Oh.
Like,
when it
I'm drinking nothing now.
No, it started years ago, and it was all the big deal because you will not get commercials.
Well, all of
That's it.
cable was
That's
like
all.
that.
Yeah.
When you
And-
first got cable, no commercials. That's why
I
everybody
know.
signed on.
Yeah, and then it's all, well, not all commercials.
Do you want some more of
No,
this
thank you.
$50 champagne?
No.
Well, like Handmaid's Tale. You and I watched Handmaid's
But
Tale.
I
Yes,
just bought the
I
book.
love it.
I just bought.
Oh,
I
book
just
is
bought the
good.
book because I
Books are
haven't.
good.
I read her other some Blind Assassin. Some of her, I love her writing, and so I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I
her
can.
books are very good.
I can handle reading the book. I just couldn't handle watching it on TV.
Wow,
That's
the
what-
book is pretty disturbing
Well,
too.
I can like close it. I'm
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
No,
control.
Handmaid's Tale is a good series that
It's
that's
a-
one that I wanted to wait, and I did. I did get the streaming service because that's on Hulu, and I did not
Yeah.
have Hulu until
Yeah.
Handmaid's Tale, and only because you pestered you, like,
Yeah.
you gotta watch this, and then I said, fine, I'll do it, and that was
Elizabeth
my
Moss
dinner.
is like
She's
exceptional.
amazing.
She really is.
She's a good actress.
She's very good. Now you have Disney Plus. Do you watch The Mandalorian?
No.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I got Disney Plus because Hamilton was on there.
Oh yes,
Well played, Disney Plus, because
Yeah.
that's what finally got me to get Disney Plus, because you were showing Hamilton. So
Yeah,
you
Hamilton was
did
good.
it.
I did watch it on
And
Disney
we watched
Plus. Yeah.
Hamilton probably about a dozen times
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah.
We watched that, and but now there are things. But we're just not a Star Wars kind of a. We
You know
tried
what?
it.
I'm
we
gonna
tried
tell you
it, but
something.
it's
I'm not a big Star Wars
Yeah.
fan, but I love The Mandalorian.
really.
I love The Mandalorian. It's got Baby Yoda.
Okay, well, that doesn't mean much to me.
No, it's really good. It's a little campy, but it's a really good. It's a very good
The
show.
one show that I wanted to, other than saying Outlander, which I just love Outlander. Hi, Sam Hewen. And is on network TV, which I think is flown under the radar for all these years, and it's in its final season. It's got 2 episodes left. Is The Blacklist
Oh right.
Oh, okay.
with James Spader.
I started watching that in the very beginning, and then I
Very good
stopped
show.
watching it.
No, I think that show is so underrated. The writing in this show
Yeah.
is fantastic. And I think the way James Spader's character plays it off is brilliant. I'm just surprised he hasn't won an Emmy for
Yeah.
this role. I think it's amazing, and I'm sad. That's one show I won't miss, is The
Yeah.
Blacklist. It's a really good character. It's a really good concept. And I wouldn't doubt if something like that's going on right now in our, with the way our
Yeah,
government
right.
works. I said, but it's a
Right.
great concept. Well played too with him in that character. He deserves to be recognized for that.
Yeah.
I just think so.
He's
Yeah.
another good actor.
Yeah.
Now, I know your answer for this, but let's
Okay.
see if I'm wrong. I said, but shows we've seen that we just can't pass when they come on. Like, you turn the TV and you're like,
Oh,
oh,
right,
here
right.
it is.
Right.
I think you're going to say West Wing.
Oh well, yeah, but
Yeah.
but I have to go to that. It's not like
Oh,
it's just
okay.
all of a
It's not
sudden.
like on a read. But if
Yeah.
you happen to see it and you're just like, no matter what.
Oh, if
If
it
it
comes,
comes up.
if a segment of it comes up on my TikTok, I have to watch it and
Yeah.
share it.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
With me, it would be a movie, not a
Okay.
show.
Which would be.
Jurassic Park. I can't resist it.
I know.
And Jaws.
she's
I am. I'm obsessed with dinosaurs. I love Jurassic Park so much.
Now, is it just the original or is it all?
No, all of them. Even
Yeah.
the crappy ones. Like the latest one, everybody, even Jessica and the kids and Peter said, we couldn't even finish watching it, don't bother.
Right.
And I said, well, I have to bother. It's got dinosaurs in it. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I'm in it for the dinosaurs.
I thought it when the girls were little, there used to be this dinosaur park in New Jersey right off
Oh,
the
yes,
top.
yeah.
And we brought them there a few times. Every time I went there, I'm like, Peggy would love this place. I was like, she would love
Well, there's a dinosaur place in Rockville Center. Remember when we had
Oh yes.
that? I forgot the name of it. It was this little, they were just building it when we had the bookstore, and I went there to meet
Forgot
them.
about that.
And I was like, oh my God, there's like dinosaurs all over the place.
Were you always into dinosaurs even when you were young?
Yeah, I always liked dinosaurs.
You should have been a paleontologist.
I was a big Godzilla fan. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Well,
I was
talk about
always
hokey.
into the monsters, like the Godzilla. I still love old Godzilla movies, even the ones with baby
the little
Godzilla.
hands
Oh
like
my
this.
God! And they're so stupid.
See, now
I love them.
I watched King Kong and I loved him and I loved
No.
Mighty Joe Young.
How about King Kong versus Godzilla?
I never got into
no.
that. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm
Mighty
sorry.
Joe Young was so good.
It's so sad.
Oh, it was sad. I loved
Those little
him.
kids.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I would like. I'll always stop at Parks and Recreation. But I think it's
Okay, I
hysterical.
used to watch Parks
Love
and
that.
Recreation.
It's all right.
That was before I knew. See, Chris Pratt, I know is a real dick in real life.
How do you know that?
Because Aaron tells me, well, every time I like something, he says, "Oh, do you know all about that person?"
What does he have against
He's
it?
like
Do
a
you know
big
it?
religious right person, and
He's
you know.
married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
half the time I don't listen to people because if they don't know the person
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
they read whatever.
Yeah.
And,
but
and again,
Rob,
because I didn't
Rob
walk in-
Lowe's in that though. Rob Lowe's in that
In
one.
what?
In Parks and Rec.
Oh, right, and he's also in West Wing.
Yeah, that's that one.
Yeah.
And Little House on the Prairie, of course.
Yes, yes.
I would
Yes,
stop with
yeah.
that. And what's the other? And then, which is so random, but and my daughter Willow loves this show too. Supernatural.
Oh,
If it's
yeah.
on, which it is, we'll just put it on and just keep it on in the background. We love that show.
Yeah.
Veep, I love Veep. I think.
Well, it's like Columbo with me.
Oh, that's
Columbo,
right.
yeah.
Every Saturday night, tonight at 8 o'clock, I will be in front of my TV watching a
We'll
Columbo
text her sometime and
episode.
she'll be like, Columbo's on.
I've seen them all a million times because there aren't that many shows.
But there is
Yeah.
a comfort to seeing something that
Yes.
you know what's going to
I
happen.
Yes,
could do
there is.
anything I want. I
Yeah.
go online, I'm
Yeah.
looking up words, I'm doing
She can't text
puzzles.
us during Columbo.
That's true. That's true. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I don't know. It just to me it just seems interesting that there's, with all of these new devices and the way to watch.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Right.
the old stuff is still.
Yeah, it's comforting,
Okay.
as you said. It's
Yeah.
But
just
there-
comforting to watch, and
Yeah.
I love Peter Falk. I love
Oh, I love
his
Peter Falk.
mannerisms.
Yeah, Peter Falk is awesome.
I just love his
Yes,
mannerisms.
he is. Peter Falk is.
And do you know his wife was on those shows with him when he
No.
got older? The
Oh, I
latest
didn't
shows.
know that.
Yeah, she was in so many of the episodes, and she was tall and beautiful.
Of course.
And, you know,
He's like, I love
Yeah.
him in In-Laws. That's still my favorite. One of
Yeah.
my favorite movies.
oh my
But-
God! Did I
But
ever
now
see
was
that?
Alan.
Oh my God, you have to see that.
Right, was
Alan Arkin was in that. And it was
I
just
think
on
I
TV.
did see. Yeah, he just
Serpentine,
died.
Serpentine. So you gotta
Oh,
see
I have
this
to
movie.
remember this tonight.
You know,
Yeah.
one movie that I can't pass by if I was on is Little Miss Sunshine, and it's with
Oh
Alan.
my God, I
yes.
remember that movie.
That's a great
yeah,
show.
that was good about the
So-
dancing competition.
Oh my God! And it's just like how phony is raising these little girls to be little princesses, and the little girl was so
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
what I think we've all seen this one. You turned me on to it. Was what do we think of Schmigadoon?
This last season I didn't love it.
Did you see Schmigadoon?
I didn't look at it. To
Oh, I
me, it
thought
didn't
you were
look like
watching.
something that I would like.
There were no
Oh.
dinosaurs in it.
No dinosaurs, no Peter Falk. Sorry.
I liked Schmigadoon. I was so happy.
I loved the first season. The
Then
first I
I-
felt like okay. they've
I
done that.
thought the second season was very good too.
I just felt like okay,
Yeah.
done that. It's the same premise.
It was different. There were different musicals.
Well, yeah, no, you're right.
There were
was.
different
It was
like
darker.
plot twists. It was a darker. Where they did like
Yeah.
they did Chicago. They
Yeah.
did
Yeah. Yeah.
oh my God! I've
I'm not
had
going
a
there,
couple
'cause I-
glasses of champagne. The guy that kills everybody.
Jason?
no, the
Friday
barber.
13th?
Barber.
Yeah,
Oh, the
yeah,
barber of Seville?
Yeah, and they had a lot of other ones. It
Notice
was
I went like that.
Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
A lot of
Well,
darker
no, for
ones.
that premise,
Yeah.
yes.
So it works.
Is that
Maybe you just don't like those darker music. I don't like
No,
a lot
no,
of
no.
darker musicals.
I again, I just like, okay, I know it's gonna come to the end.
If it was a dark musical, I probably would like it.
So
I
then
thought
you
it was
would
going
like
to be
it
like
too.
I mean, I'm not a
The
big fan
first
of
one
musicals.
was, but the second one was all, they were focusing on the darker musicals, the ones that I don't really care for, but I know them.
Yeah.
Because I know, I just
Yeah.
know the music.
Did you guys watch? I know that you didn't because I told you about it. The Last of Us,
No.
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic, zombies.
There you go.
Throw in a dinosaur and she's never getting
no,
away.
no dinosaurs, but I do love zombies too.
Oh, see, I don't like
And
zombies.
what's
Yeah,
his
yeah,
name?
yeah.
What's his name that's in it? He's so he's the Mandalorian too. Pasquale is his last name.
Oh, okay.
Pedro Pasquale.
Right.
Such a good show, and the little girl who is in this show, I forgot her name too. She was phenomenal. They finished the first season, and I can't wait till the second season. There's a lot of violence in it, though. There
We have
really
to
is.
go.
I think
Oh, all right.
you know, but did you have any more comments to make?
No.
And you had no notes, so.
No. One just real question. Do you ever watch a show because of the actor
Oh, yeah.
or only?
Yeah, pretty well.
And who is it
That's a good question. Who would be the actor that I would want?
that you have a crush on? We all know.
Well,
Or just because of the actor?
can I tell you, I like Sting, but I don't think he's a good actor, even though, in some of the movies I've seen, I'm like, Sting sticks to singing.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Other than Peter Falk for you.
Well,
Yeah.
beautiful because it's really Columbo. I just love that character.
Gotcha.
You know, so but no, I
I
don't
started
think
watching
so.
that one with, I can't remember, Furbo with was it Schwarzenegger? I couldn't even finish like the second. Oh, and also another one that is so ridiculous, and just like that, from
Sex and the City. I didn't see that.
City. I didn't see it.
15
either.
minutes in, I'm like, please stop,
Yeah.
stop. It's just,
Yeah, it's past that time
It's
for
time.
Sex in the City.
Yeah.
Like,
And they didn't have Samantha and all that, you know. It just
yeah,
wasn't
and
right,
she's
yeah.
kind of a snot anyway. So.
On that note, how about we wrap up?
we're gonna wrap it up, but don't leave yet. We gotta say goodbye.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
But
Thanks for joining us.
Let us know what you're watching. Let us know if it's
Yes.
Wildflowers podcast.
If you have any
exclusive
recommendations, if it has
Yeah.
dinosaurs, Peter Falk, you know, a
And I
post-apocalyptic.
didn't see how good I did because she didn't turn the screen around, so it was driving me crazy.
yeah.
Good for you.
The whole time it
You're
was
working
driving.
on yourself.
Okay, let's see if I can turn this thing off.
Okay.
Okay, so bye.
Again, we're saying goodbye, and my dogs know it's time to eat.
Yes, they do.
They're already like, oh. Okay, that
Are
was
we
fun.
recording? No, it's still going.